Hi, nieces and nephews. Welcome to Auntie No's Kitchen. And I hope you're having a good morning. Yes, it's morning time. And so today I am going to be making some rice pilaf. Yes, rice pilaf. Restaurant style rice pilaf, home style rice pilaf, whatever name you want to give it at the beginning is rice pilaf, but it's Auntie's rice pilaf, okay? And I hope you enjoy this recipe. And for those of you that are running through here at this time, I hope you pull up a chair, hit that like and subscribe button if you want to, and you can become a niece and nephew, become part of my big happy family, okay? So let me give you a flip and a swip, and we'll get started, okay? Okay, I have in this pot, which is all right, I just turned it on. I have 2.5 cups rather, of Uncle Ben's long grain white rice. And I'm going to add to it, you have to cook your rice in a broth. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, but I'm using chicken broth. And I'm using 32 ounces of chicken broth. And I'm going to cook this. I like the Uncle Ben's because it's, what do you call it? Pork broth, pro ball, whatever word. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give this a quick little stir. And then I'm going to leave it alone and let the rice cook. And let this cook down. I'm not going to add anything to it. But you also need 1 diced red pepper and 1 diced medium onion, yellow onion, or half of a large yellow onion. You will need a tablespoon of dried parsley. If you're not using dried parsley, you will need a 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. I don't really buy a lot of fresh herbs because they go to waste. Because I don't use them like, you know, they don't last forever like that. And so I don't buy a whole lot of fresh parsley and thyme. I use dried herbs, and you can always rehydrate them of your choosing. And I'm not going to add any salt to this because there's salt in here. There's enough salt in this. This is not the low sodium. They were out of all the low sodium BOGO. So they didn't have any more low sodium. So I'm going to let this come to a boil. And then we'll, once this rice cooks down, we'll move on to our next step. Until then, go grab yourself a little cup of coffee and wait on till Auntie come back, okay? Okay, my rice is done. And you always test your rice for doneness. As y'all know, I like to call it tasty. Always test your rice for doneness. And that is done. And you can taste that chicken broth. And that's why it's very important that you cook your rice when you're making rice pilaf. It must be cooked in a broth. Now what I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to move it over to the side because I am going to bring over my other pan. And you notice that I cooked the rice to nearly to down where the broth is very low. And I'm not going to rinse that because I want the broth. That's not water. It's not rice water. It's broth. So I'm going to melt this butter down. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons of butter. Not margarine, butter. I'm going to melt that down. And I have in here is 1 teaspoon of garlic. You can use, if you want more garlic, add more garlic. You know, hey, it becomes your playground. Add more garlic. Got this, pull these wires out the way. Can't be getting caught up. My heat turned up a little bit. Always, when you're using onions and peppers and things, always get your garlic in first, because the heat is going to really bring out that flavor, and that garlic is going to make the flavor of the garlic explode. And now I'm going to add my peppers and my onions, and make sure I get all, me and my southpaw, get all my goodness out of this bowl. Get all of that goodness in here. And I'm going to cook this down some, because I want to cook my peppers. My onions down. I'm going to go ahead and throw in this little dried parsley here. Go ahead and just get everything all nice and saturated in there. And I'm not adding any salt and pepper yet. Not until I get them down. Cooked a little bit longer. I'm going to get these cooked down a little bit longer, and I'll be right back, family, and we'll be back to having our family reunion. Now, you know, when you're ready to add your rice, because the aromas of your veggies start coming through. So you're going to go ahead and add your rice. And again, get all the goodness out. Bring all that goodness out of there. Put this over here for a little housekeeping. And you want to start stirring, getting all that goodness incorporated together. Forget that. I need my spoon. All right. Rice pilaf sounds like a fancy dish, like it would be hard to make. It's very quite simple dish. Doesn't take a whole lot of rocket science to make rice pilaf. It really doesn't. We're going to add some fresh ground pepper in here. You can season your pepper to taste. We're going to continue to stir this, because we want to get all that butter and those onions and peppers and garlic, everything mixed in together. It is not a complicated dish at all. That's why very simple. Rice pilaf is a very simple dish. I think it comes rice from India, I think so. Don't quote me on that. It's because of the last name. Pilaf. But you know, it's served in a lot of steakhouses to complement, you know, steaks. But you can use this as just complement any dish. Okay. And here we are. We have rice pilaf. And you know, Auntie always believes, turn that off. A little tasty, tasty. And what this rice pilaf is going to be complementing, I don't want to get a pepper, because you know Auntie needs vegetables. Yeah, you know I'm not going to say it's bad, because it's my food. But if you make it, you'll see. That's great. So I'm going to, this is it. Here's our rice pilaf. Look at there. Look at the goodness. See? You got your peppers, your onions, the savory, because it was cooked in broth, it made it more savory. And that's the flavor that you taste when you order rice pilaf when you're out, because it's cooked in broth. Your rice is not cooked in water. Your rice is cooked in broth. Now, if you're vegan, you can use vegan butter, plant-based butter. You can use the plant-based butter, and you can use the vegetable broth. And you can also add different colors of peppers. You know, make it yours. You know, you can do as you please, because it will be what? It'll be your rice pilaf. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this little short video, and I hope you make this, you know, for you and your family and friends, and share this at a meal. And it's a great side. And what I'm going to be pairing this wonderful side dish with for my family, I'm going to be doing a bourbon brown sugar bacon wrapped pork loin for them. So this side is done. This is one of the sides, and so I'm going to get started on that, and I will see you guys in the next upload. Again, here it is, rice pilaf. Thank you guys for joining in and hanging out with me this morning while I made this great side dish of rice pilaf. Again, I hope you make this for your friends and family. You know what I always say, you can keep it to yourself. This makes a lot, so if you need to cut it in half for just you and yourself, not you and yourself, because that would mean you be you thinking you somebody else. So, but hey, that would be all right, okay? But that'll be, you can just cut it in half if this is too much in volume. But they will eat on this with their meal for a couple of days, because there's 2 of them. And again, thank you guys. I appreciate your love and support. Hugs and kisses to each of you. Until the next upload. See you later. Go be you, but be great being you. Talk to you later. Bye.